For the first time in decades, a sign for the Huntridge Theater will be in lights. The original neon sign has been carefully restored. And also, for the first time in decades, you can take a look inside and look at plans for the future. Fox 5 got an exclusive first look.
We also made a commitment to make sure that the public could have access to the theater, that they could come in after all of these years and see what it was like in here.
The vast floor of the Huntridge Theater is finally clear of debris for you to walk in and see. Or you can just stand outside beneath the neon glow of the marquee. It was restored over a period of 6 months by local company Yesco.
Invite the neighborhood, everybody who's passionate about downtown, show and tell the stories that we know about, but we also want to listen to the stories that maybe we don't know about.
The Huntridge first opened in October 1944. From movies to concerts, plenty of locals have memories spanning decades. Developer Jay Dapper says during excavations, crews discovered relics like old movie projectors and letters used for the headliners for the marquee. There are photos of performers past on gallery walls, and then little-known band graced the stage in the 90s named Green Day. The public can take in these displays, plus displays of what's to come at this designated historical site. Architect Brett Robillard will be giving tours and can tell you himself.
The theater was designed in 1944, and at the time it was actually recalling Streamline Moderne, which is based on Art Deco. There's certain artifacts in here that I think could be preserved, or they're worked into the design in a certain way. The challenge is to not take the new design too far. Let the soul of this room be.
Besides live music and concerts, the stage will embrace the theater. Famed off-Broadway Soho Playhouse wants a second home in the entertainment capital of the world. Artistic director Darren Lee Cole says there's already a lot of talented, trained locals.
There's a great small theater scene here. Do you really have to go to Los Angeles or New York or another market to make it and to make your place? The goal is for local artists to find a home for their work.
There's plans for the Huntridge to add to the booming block. Yet another place downtown where people can go for a night out and walk to grab a bite or drink.
There's something about downtown that's special, and I certainly think that there's something about an old building that has lots of stories to tell.
Jaclyn Schultz, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Friday around sunset is when the marquees will turn on. Everyone is welcome to come to the parking lot. Dapper says the permit process will take a year and expects the first shows to debut in 2025. If you want to go on the free tours in April, the link is on our website, fox5vegas.com.